In the quiet moments of solitude, in the stillness of your own mind, lies the most powerful force of creation you will ever know. It is not the world around you that shapes your destiny. It is the voice within. The thoughts you allow to echo in your mind, the words you speak to yourself, and the stories you tell about who you are the invisible architects of your life. The dialogue you have with yourself is not merely a reflection of who you have been. It is the blueprint of who you are becoming. The voice within. When you wake in the morning, before you even open your eyes, you begin to speak to yourself. The words you choose in those first moments set the tone for the entire day. They shape your feelings, your actions, and your perceptions. The conversation you hold with yourself is not just a casual exchange. It is the first act of creation each day. And yet, many of us are unaware of this power. We are unaware of how the small, repetitive thoughts, the quiet whispers, and the internal criticisms are carving the path of our future. How often do you wake up with the weight of yesterday's worries still clinging to you? How often do you start the day with a thought of inadequacy or fear, believing that the obstacles in front of you are insurmountable? This inner dialogue, whether positive or negative, becomes the lens through which you view the world. Your life will never rise above the level of your thoughts. And if your thoughts are filled with self-doubt, negativity, or limitation, you will continue to create a reality that mirrors that. The world outside is but a reflection of the dialogue inside, shifting the narrative. But here's the transformative truth. You have the power to change that inner dialogue. You are not at the mercy of your past. You are not bound by the story others have told you, nor the one you've been telling yourself. Your inner dialogue is a choice. It is a choice that can either empower you or imprison you. You may not always control the first thought that enters your mind, but you have the power to shape the thoughts that follow. Every moment, you can choose to see yourself as someone capable of greatness, someone worthy of success, someone deserving of love and abundance. But this shift begins with the words you speak to yourself. It begins with the way you frame your experiences, your challenges, and your dreams. The key to shaping your destiny lies in consciously choosing a dialogue that aligns with the life you wish to create. If you are in a place of struggle, ask yourself, what are the words I am saying to myself about this struggle? Are they words of defeat or words of possibility? When you face an obstacle, do you tell yourself, this is too hard, I can't do this? Or do you say, I am capable, I will find a way? The choice is yours, and that choice, repeated over and over, will determine the course of your life. The power of words. Words are not just vibrations in the air. They are powerful energies that shape your reality. When you speak, your words send ripples through the universe, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities with the energy you put out. Every thought you think, every word you speak, is a seed planted in the soil of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious then works tirelessly, day and night, to bring those seeds to fruition. When you affirm that you are worthy, capable, and strong, you send a signal to the universe that you are open to receiving all that you desire. Your inner dialogue becomes an act of faith, an act of creation. But when you speak words of limitation, fear, or doubt, you send a signal that you do not believe in your own power, and in doing so, you close the door to the opportunities that are already waiting for you. Becoming the master of your thoughts. It is time to become the master of your thoughts. Stop letting your mind wander aimlessly, allowing the winds of uncertainty and fear to carry you away. Take control of the internal dialogue. Imagine what would happen if you consciously chose to speak to yourself with the same love, encouragement, and belief that you would offer to a dear friend. What if every time you felt doubt creeping in, you replaced it with a thought of courage? What if every time you faced a setback, You spoke to yourself with compassion, knowing that failure is simply a lesson, not a defeat. To shape your destiny, you must begin by shaping your thoughts. A thought is like a wave. It begins with a single ripple, and if you nurture it, if you allow it to flow freely, it will gather strength and momentum. Just as you would water a seed to help it grow, you must feed your mind with thoughts that empower, uplift, and inspire you. The more you focus on thoughts of possibility, of success, and of abundance, the more you will see those thoughts reflected in your life. But this doesn't mean that challenges will vanish. Life is filled with ups and downs, and you will face obstacles along the way. But it's not the obstacle that defines you. It's how you respond to it. It's the dialogue you have with yourself in those moments. Will you let the voice of fear tell you that you can't overcome it? Or will you listen to the voice of inner strength that says, "I've been through challenges before, and I have always found a way through. I will find a way through this too." The role of imagination and belief. Your inner dialogue is closely connected to your imagination. Imagination is the gateway to creation. It is the place where you envision the life you desire, the person you want to become, the future you wish to manifest. And imagination is not something that happens only in your mind. It is a powerful force that ignites emotions and shifts your energy. When you imagine your future, when you see yourself as the person who has already achieved your goals, your subconscious begins to work in harmony with that vision. The more you engage with your imagination, the more it becomes embedded in your consciousness. The more vividly you see your success, your happiness, your peace, the more the world around you begins to align with those images. But imagination must be paired with belief. You cannot merely imagine something and hope it will appear without the belief that it is possible. Belief is the fuel that powers your imagination. When you truly believe that you can achieve your dreams, that you are deserving of success, you begin to move through the world with a different energy. You begin to attract the opportunities, the people, and the resources that align with your vision. The impact of others on your inner dialogue. The people you allow into your life also influence your inner dialogue. It is crucial to surround yourself with those who uplift, support, and believe in you. The energy of the people you spend time with will influence your thoughts and beliefs. If you are constantly around individuals who are negative, who doubt themselves and others, that energy will seep into your subconscious mind. It will begin to shape the way you see the world, and more importantly, the way you see yourself. But when you surround yourself with those who encourage growth, who speak life into your dreams, you begin to feel your own belief in yourself grow stronger. The voices of doubt begin to fade, and the voice of possibility becomes louder. Be mindful of the conversations you engage in, and most importantly, be mindful of the internal conversations that take place in your mind. What you think about, what you dwell upon, and what you believe about yourself will shape your destiny. Your future is in your hands. Your destiny is not determined by the circumstances of your life. It is determined by the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of. It is determined by the power of your inner dialogue, by the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the beliefs you hold about yourself. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. It is the key that unlocks the door to your dreams. If you want to change your life, begin by changing the conversation in your mind. Speak to yourself with kindness, with belief, and with the assurance that you are worthy of all the good the world has to offer. Let go of the limiting beliefs that have held you back, and replace them with thoughts that empower you. You have the power to create your reality, and it begins with the words you speak to yourself. Every thought, every belief, every conversation you have with yourself shapes the life you will live. Choose wisely. Speak words of strength. Speak words of possibility. Speak words of belief in your own power. The world is waiting for you to step into your full potential. It is waiting for you to embrace the truth of who you are. And the moment you change your inner dialogue, the moment you choose to see yourself as the creator of your reality, the world will respond. Your destiny is in your hands. It has always been. The only thing left for you to do is to speak it into being. Imagine for a moment that you are the author of your own story. Every chapter, every scene, every twist and turn is written by you. Your destiny is not a script handed down by some outside force. It is not defined by the circumstances you were born into, the failures you've experienced, or the opinions others have about you. Your destiny is shaped by the stories you tell yourself about who you are, about what you are capable of, and about what you believe to be true. And if you don't like the current chapter, you have the power to change it. Your inner dialogue is the narrative you write each day. It is the constant soundtrack that plays in your mind, influencing your actions, your thoughts, and your emotional state. Whether you are aware of it or not, it is guiding you in one direction or another. The most powerful tool at your disposal is the ability to take control of that inner narrative, to consciously choose the words you speak to yourself, and to rewrite the limiting beliefs that have kept you from stepping into your full potential. When you begin to take responsibility for your inner dialogue, you realize that you have been the architect of your own limitations. But here's the good news. You are also the architect of your own freedom. By changing the story you tell yourself, you change the direction of your life. The moment you decide to replace the inner critic with the inner coach, the moment you decide to speak to yourself with compassion and encouragement instead of judgment and criticism, you begin to unlock the door to your true power. Overcoming limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are like chains that bind you to a version of yourself that is small, fearful, and incapable of achieving greatness. They are the false stories you have told yourself about who you are and what you can or cannot do. These beliefs often come from external sources, from parents, teachers, peers, or society, but they become your reality the moment you accept them as truth. The first step in freeing yourself from these chains is to become aware of them. What are the thoughts that run through your mind when you face a challenge? What do you tell yourself when you think about your dreams? Do you say, "I can't do that," or "I'm not good enough"? Do you believe that success is reserved for others, that the life you desire is out of reach? If so, these are the limiting beliefs that are shaping your reality. Once you identify these beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. Every belief you hold has a counterpart that is equally valid. If you believe you are not good enough, the counter-belief is that you are more than enough. If you believe success is for others, the counter-belief is that success is your birthright. The moment you choose to focus on the empowering beliefs, the ones that support your vision and align with your highest potential, the more you will see your reality begin to shift. Changing your inner dialogue is not an overnight process. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. But the more you affirm your worth, the more you align your thoughts with your dreams, the more you will reprogram your mind for success. Your inner dialogue must become the voice of your higher self, the voice that tells you, you are capable, you are worthy, you can create the life you desire. The role of self-compassion in personal growth. Along this journey, there will be moments when you stumble. There will be times when you fall short of your own expectations, when you face setbacks, or when the world seems to be testing you. And in those moments, your inner dialogue will become even more critical. It will tell you that you are not enough, that you have failed, and that you are not worthy of the success you desire. But this is where the practice of self-compassion becomes essential. Self-compassion is the ability to treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience, especially when you face challenges. It is the opposite of self-criticism. Instead of berating yourself for your mistakes, self-compassion allows you to embrace your imperfections and see them as opportunities for growth. It allows you to acknowledge that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a necessary part of the learning process. When you replace self-criticism with self-compassion, you begin to see failure in a new light. You no longer see it as a reflection of your inadequacy, but as a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. You understand that growth is not linear and that every setback is an opportunity to learn, refine, and improve. The way you speak to yourself during difficult times determines your ability to rise again. If you constantly speak to yourself in a harsh, judgmental manner, you will be trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. But if you treat yourself with the same love and compassion that you would offer to a dear friend, you begin to cultivate resilience. You begin to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger and more capable. The power of belief and imagination. Belief and imagination are the twin engines that drive the creative process. Belief is the foundation of creation. Without belief, imagination is nothing more than a fleeting thought, a momentary fancy. But with belief, imagination becomes a powerful force that shapes your reality. Imagination allows you to see the life you desire, to visualize the future you want to create. But belief is what turns that vision into reality. When you believe in your vision, when you truly believe that the life you desire is possible, you begin to act in alignment with that belief. You take inspired action. You move forward with confidence, trusting that the universe is working in your favor. You stop doubting yourself and start trusting the process. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and begin creating the life you desire right now, with the belief that it is already yours. Imagination is the bridge between your present reality and your desired reality. It is the realm where anything is possible. But belief is the fuel that propels you across that bridge. The moment you believe in the power of your imagination, the moment you truly believe that your desires are already within your grasp, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities appear. The right people enter your life. Doors open where there were once walls. Becoming the creator of your destiny. You are the creator of your destiny. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your inner dialogue determines your success. The way you speak to yourself, the beliefs you hold about yourself, and the emotions you allow to guide your actions all shape the world you experience. To create the life you desire, you must first believe that you are worthy of it. You must speak to yourself with kindness, with belief, with confidence. You must replace the stories of limitation with stories of possibility. You must align your thoughts with the vision of your highest self and trust that the universe will bring everything you need to bring that vision into reality. You are not at the mercy of fate or circumstance. You are the master of your own reality. And it begins with the dialogue you hold within. Speak to yourself as the powerful, capable, deserving person that you are. Speak to yourself with love and compassion. Speak to yourself with belief, and watch as your destiny unfolds before you. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. It shapes your future. It shapes your destiny. And when you take control of it, when you consciously choose to speak life into your vision, you unlock the power to create the life you have always dreamed of. The voice within you is more than just a set of thoughts. It is the conductor of your life's orchestra, guiding every note, every pause, and every crescendo. It is your inner compass, pointing you toward your highest potential or keeping you trapped in the past. The power of your inner dialogue is so profound because it shapes your beliefs, which in turn dictate the actions you take and the world you experience. But what happens when external forces begin to influence that inner dialogue? What happens when the opinions of others, the judgments of society, and the pressures of your environment begin to drown out your true voice? The answer is simple. You begin to lose touch with your authentic self. You begin to live a life that is shaped by the expectations of others, by the noise of the world, rather than by your own inner wisdom. The voice you once held as your guide becomes muffled and faint, drowned out by the cacophony of external influence. This is why it is vital to protect your inner dialogue. The world will always try to sway you, to push you in directions that align with its own agenda. People will criticize, judge, and attempt to mold you into their vision of who you should be. But the wise man knows that his path is not determined by the opinions of others. His path is shaped by his own inner knowing, by his alignment with his true self. The importance of emotional resilience. The world is filled with external challenges. People will disappoint you. Opportunities may seem scarce. The road ahead may not always be smooth. But emotional resilience is the key to navigating these challenges without losing your sense of self. Resilience is the ability to stay grounded, to stay centered, no matter what life throws your way. It is the strength to keep your inner dialogue aligned with your highest vision, even when the world around you seems to be pulling you in 100 different directions. Emotional resilience is not about being impervious to pain or hardship. It's about how you respond to those challenges. Do you let them shape you, or do you shape them? Do you allow the negativity and struggles to shift your perception of yourself, or do you remain steadfast in your belief that you are capable of overcoming them? When you maintain resilience, your inner dialogue becomes a constant source of strength. No external challenge is enough to break you. The words you speak to yourself in moments of adversity are the words that will either lift you up or keep you stuck. Resilience is built upon a foundation of self-compassion and trust, trusting that every setback is not a failure, but an opportunity to grow. It is trusting that the path to success is not linear and that every twist and turn is part of your evolution. When you develop emotional resilience, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks. You begin to see them as stepping stones to something greater. You embrace the struggle, knowing that it is refining you, strengthening your character, and deepening your understanding of yourself. Imagination and the power to create. Imagination is your most potent tool for creation. When you align your inner dialogue with your imagination, you are harnessing the power of the universe itself. Imagination is not just daydreaming or wishing for something to happen. Imagination is a powerful, active force that taps into the unseen, the realm of infinite possibility. It is the space where everything you desire already exists, and the only thing that's needed is for you to bring it into reality. When you allow yourself to fully engage with your imagination, you create a vision of the life you want, a life that is rich with possibility, abundance, and peace. You see yourself as already having what you desire. You imagine yourself living in perfect alignment with your dreams, feeling the emotions of success, joy, and fulfillment. And the more vividly you imagine your desired reality, the more real it becomes. But imagination must be paired with belief. Without belief, imagination remains a fantasy, something you dream about but never manifest. Belief is the driving force that propels your imagination from the world of thought into the world of action. Belief is what transforms your imagination into reality. It is the confidence that your vision is not just a passing thought, but a tangible future that is already on its way to you. When you believe in your vision, you align your thoughts and actions with that belief. You no longer wait for external circumstances to validate your dreams. You begin to take inspired action, knowing that the universe is already arranging everything you need. You are no longer chasing success. You are becoming the person who naturally attracts it. The impact of the people you surround yourself with. The people you allow into your life are powerful influences on your inner dialogue. The energy of those around you can either elevate you or pull you down. If you are constantly surrounded by people who speak negatively about their own lives, who criticize others, or who live in a state of fear and lack. That energy will seep into your subconscious mind. It will shape the way you think about yourself, your possibilities, and your potential. But when you surround yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in your dreams, and who encourage your growth, you begin to adopt their mindset. You begin to align with their energy, which is supportive, positive, and abundant. The power of a strong, positive support system cannot be overstated. These people become mirrors for your own self-belief. Their encouragement reinforces your vision. Their words become the affirmation of your capabilities. But remember, you are the one who ultimately controls your inner dialogue. No matter who you surround yourself with, the most important voice in your life is your own. What you say to yourself, how you speak about your life, and the belief you hold about your future are the forces that will ultimately shape your destiny. Taking responsibility for your thoughts. Taking responsibility for your inner dialogue is one of the most empowering actions you can take. Your thoughts are your creation. They do not come from somewhere outside of you. They come from within you. And it is up to you to decide what you want to think. You are not at the mercy of your emotions or circumstances. You have the ability to choose your thoughts, to shift your perception, and to direct your focus toward the life you want to create. When you take responsibility for your thoughts, you stop being a passive observer of your life. You become the active creator. You stop blaming the world, your past, or other people for the life you are living. You take ownership of your reality, knowing that every thought you think is shaping the world around you. This is the essence of empowerment, understanding that you are in control of your own mind and, therefore, your own reality. Living your truth. At the core of it all, the true path to fulfillment is living your truth. The inner dialogue that shapes your destiny must be rooted in the truth of who you are. The truth is that you are more than enough, that you are worthy of everything you desire, and that you have the power to create the life you envision. The more you align your thoughts with this truth, the more your actions will follow, and the world around you will begin to reflect that truth. Living your truth means trusting yourself. It means listening to that quiet voice within, the voice of your intuition, your higher self, and allowing it to guide you. It means letting go of the need for external validation and embracing the wisdom that comes from within. And as you live in alignment with this truth, the universe will conspire to bring you everything you need. Your inner dialogue shapes your destiny because it shapes the way you see yourself and the world around you. It determines your actions, your reactions, and your energy. When you consciously choose thoughts that support your growth, when you choose words that empower you, and when you believe in the life you are creating, you step into your true power. You stop being a passive observer of your life and become the creator of your destiny.